Well, the Buckeyes are now chasing the championship, and we're here to break it down for you. Of course, Adam King, the one and only Timmy Hall, the great Buckeye receiver Dane, Sanzenbacher, and our Nicole Sharon. And we now know the Buckeyes are in. They will play, my goodness, Tennessee, December 21st, a night game, 8 o'clock in the Horseshoe. Dane, you played. Is weather going to be a factor? They play in the NFL this time of year, right?
Yeah, it's always going to be a factor. If we talked about this a little bit, I mean, cold is not fun for either team, but it can be an equalizer, right? It can force you to do things you don't want to do. If you're a high-flying offense, like we've seen Tennessee try to be and throw the ball around, could force you to more of the run game. Same thing with Ohio State, really. I just think this is a really fun matchup, and if you ever had something that a game you wanted to set up to get that Michigan taste out of your mouth, to move on from that, it's an SEC team coming into Ohio Stadium in December at night. That's a really good matchup.
All right, Nicole, you're a young lady that has roots back to the SEC. You went to Georgia. Scout this Tennessee football team for us. I mean, you know, they lost to Arkansas. They lost to your Georgia Bulldogs. But you know, they have athletes, and this is not an easy matchup for Ohio State.
No, it's definitely not. And going off of what you said, Dane, I love an SEC Big Ten matchup. I think it's what these fans want. I think the night game in the shoe adds to it. But SEC in general, we see teams like Georgia with elite defense. Like you always say, Dom, defense wins championships. This Tennessee team is going to come in with a coach who has been fiery all season. And I'm telling you right now, Buckeyes should be nervous about this Tennessee team because they're going to have a lot to prove, and they're going to come in hot. So just be aware.
Adam, your face is getting red. You agree with that, or what do you say?
I think if I look at the SEC, I think Tennessee's defense is a little bit not up to the strength.
Yeah.
Their quarterback, I think the biggest thing for me is their quarterback struggles. And he was supposed to be great. Timmy, I'm going to lean on you to say his name correctly.
Nico Iamaleava.
I'm working on it. I've got 5.
We need to practice that.
Yeah, I've got a week
you guys
to
are going to have to get that one. Yeah.
Nico Iamaleava?
Yeah,
you got it.
That's right.
Nico Iamaleava is a good quarterback. He can move. He misses on the deep ball a lot. And that's where I think the Buckeyes' biggest, ability to take advantage from a team is. So I think that helps Ohio State. Obviously, listen, I look at what Ohio State got here. I think they got the absolute gauntlet. The committee handed Ohio State the worst possible seed they could have. They've got to play Tennessee, then Oregon, then Texas, then Georgia. There's no gimmies in there. There will not be a single week where they say, hey, we feel a little bit better.
Right.
It certainly is going to be a lot. And Tennessee, I think, in a different world, was likely, playing in the SEC championship. They were that close to being in the SEC.
You know what, though? I have no problem with Ohio State having a difficult path there, Adam. That's the penalty when you lose the home game to Michigan.
Yep.
The reward is that you had a really good season. There's 4 really good Big Ten teams this year. They're all in the field. I think this is kind of fun and kind of cool when you talk about the Big Ten SEC matchups. You have only 3 SEC teams in the field, but you got 4 Big Ten teams in the field. Now, one of those SEC squads that wasn't in their championship game gets a chance to go on the road. We talk about the weather differences. We've been yapping about it for a year about, I want to see one of them SEC teams come up north, cross the Mason-Dixon line, and see what they can do.
I've never in my life used that.
Did you just call Ohio people just like hillbillies?
Yeah, what was that to me?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with the Southern hillbilly. I'll tell you that right now.
I did.
All right, we have lost
He
control.
was being Ohio people,
Yeah,
though.
the accent was on the wrong.
Yeah, you're
right about that.
I don't know what that
had it kind of like turned around right there.
It's okay.
Your hair looks good. Anyways,
Nico
appreciate it.
Uiagalelei.
Was that like a you're so pretty?
Just stick with Nico.
Nico Iamaleava.
Let me ask you this, Dane. If you look at Ohio State, the last time we saw them, it did not go well in the Horseshoe. The fans were not happy. They've been very vocal. And let me say this to you fans out there saying, fire Ryan Day. This is time to rally around this team. Let's wait and see. This is a movie. This season is a movie, and Ohio State still has a lot more that can be accomplished. Is there any trepidation, do you think, on the part of the Ohio State players? Because that was a bad scene. I mean, you had the bad fight at the end of the game. Going back into the site of the crime, is there any kind of bad feelings, you think, from the player standpoint?
I'm sure it was a terrible scene, right? It was something that nobody wanted to see, and it was, as many people have said, that's a black eye. You never want to see it go there. I mean, in the fan base, too, I've never, mostly because it falls on deaf ears. If you feel how you feel about your team,
Yeah.
if you feel like Ryan Day's not the one, great, feel that way. If you feel like this team doesn't deserve to play another game, that's great. What I think is awesome about this playoff in the new championship makeup is the idea that you're going to be forced to see life beyond that last game of the year, beyond that Michigan game. You're going to see an SEC team come in here. You're going to see a great matchup and realize your team still has a chance to win a national championship. I think as the years go on, the mindset starts to shift towards the big picture, and the most important thing is having a team that is built to win a national championship.
Real quick, to build off of that, Dane, I don't think there's any other rivalry in the entire country. Alabama, Auburn, pick one.
There's none like this one.
But where they lose the game, and that's it. They're like, the season's over. I mean, if Alabama lost to Auburn and then went to the 14 playoff, they were like, well, that stunk. We wanted to win that game, but, you know.
That's why I say that it's got to change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Especially-
I think this will help it change to the idea, not that the rivalry won't mean everything, not that bragging rights won't mean
But
everything.
it's not the end all now.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah. All right, I want to ask you about the SEC. And I've always detected that there's this, I don't know, we're the SEC.
It just means more, Dom.
You think that?
Yeah. You
Where
don't-
would you
don't
get
think-
that idea?
Where would you ever think such a thing?
I certainly do.
And now they
Yeah.
have to come up here.
Yes.
Can you put your glasses back on?
No.
Is that scaring them?
No, I don't
Really?
think. I don't think Tennessee is scared to come to Columbus. Now, if it's snowing here, yeah,
snow
that's a
bowl?
little concerning.
Well, that'd be
But-
concerning for Ohio
Yeah,
State,
it'd be
too.
bad for both teams.
Correct. I don't think this Tennessee team, I don't really think any SEC team is scared to play a Big Ten team. I don't think any SEC team ever really gets scared. I think
Because of that?
because
Is
yes,
it
and that's what I'm going
arrogance?
to say.
It
because
just means
no,
it's
and it's true
any-
because
I don't disagree with you.
Scared?
I mean, guys, listen, and I'm not saying this is what I think, but the teams in the SEC think they play in the best conference in college football. And they're always going to think
They
that.
only got 3 teams in this year.
Correct. And that's when you say, check
must
the
be
bracket,
terrible.
right? But I don't think, I mean, that's a problem in itself if Tennessee's coming in here scared. That's another issue that we need to discuss because I hope Ohio State isn't scared flipping it the other way around.
Let me take it now to the man that has his pulse. He's got the pulse of Buckeye Nation.
Don't you call him a man of the people?
Yeah, he's a man of the people. He does the Buckeye show. What is your
people
take?
person.
You just heard what she said about, the SEC and Tennessee. What do you see when you look at the Volunteers?
Well, I mean, first of all, I do think that the conference rivalry is
Real.
fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun about this. I mean, you're going to get, SEC, Big Ten. We're always talking about who's got the better conference. I mean, when I quickly filled out my bracket, I did have Texas and Georgia as the teams in the end there, getting the third matchup. We always talk about if we're going to ever see Ohio State and Michigan 3 times. So I think you have a chance to see that in the SEC as they've already played twice. But I think Ohio State obviously is talented enough to win the national championship, but I think there's a lot of teams like that this year. I really do. I think I look down the list, I see Oregon's good enough to do it. I see Texas is good enough to do it. Georgia is good enough to do it. I think there's a long list. Maybe Notre Dame is a squad. I don't really feel that, but this is the fun of this where it's only 12 teams, but I feel like what we get in the NCAA tournament in March where you get madness. Like you're gonna get some madness. That's why I'm filling out my bracket 5 minutes, 10 minutes after it gets released, because that's just kind of what you do.
Madness.
December
All
right.
madness.
December
It's
madness,
going to
yep.
be fun. I think-
December 21st.